Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yoga with Anna, Wednesday's midweek reset. I'm here with Sandy, who's tuning in from Maine, joining us. It's so nice to see you, Sandy, and hear you.
It's so nice to see and hear you, Anna. Happy post 4th of July. Happy birthday, America.
Yeah.
I hope everybody celebrated in style the way we do up here at the People's Congregation of Shakers and Movers Founding Chapel, otherwise known as Camp CBGB. I don't know if you can see the church back there, but we brought half the congregation to Maine like usual. And so you can probably hear it in my voice from screaming, and cheering for the fireworks. Not to mention we were howling at the moon very loudly one night. So yeah, I'm definitely down for my midweek reset and some healing. How's your week been, Anna?
My week has been nice and quiet and just readjusting to some things and having more of a quiet 4th of July this year and a little bit more inward. So, but it's, all a different way to celebrate the 4th. So, these days have a little bit of a different meaning for me, but nonetheless, I love celebrating America's birthday and what it means to all of us. And I missed being up in camp, and I hope that. I thought about you guys all the time. So I know that this practice is going to come in nice, nice, nice because it's going to be nice and relaxing and a little restorative and nice and juicy to get our joints flowing too. So I hope that you really enjoy this practice.
And what did you say about having us grab some straps today?
So, so I recommend for today's practice, we're going to be doing some leg stretches, and you don't have to use a strap, but I find it helpful to have a strap to help hold your leg and flex. So you can use, if you don't have a strap, you can use a tie, a belt, a towel, a kitchen towel, anything that you can just, roll up, and even a long hanky or scarf to wrap around your foot so we can stretch. Yeah.
Awesome. And as you can tell, I am lakeside, so there's a little bit of background boat noise going on. So that was another reason why I'm going to mute myself sooner than later. But yeah, Anna, thanks again for being here. We did want to remind everybody that the shop in the church is not going to be open for the summer on Saturdays so that we can spend some time with our families outside. But we will resume all of that in September. And a huge shout out to all the new members that we've gotten in the last couple of weeks. It's been amazing to wake up and just see people are helping support our programming and all of the services that we're continuing to provide, which is our Friday night support group, integrated recovery practices. And then, of course, every Tuesday we have Rise Up Breath Work with Matt at 11 a.m. And we have this 1 o'clock amazing midweek reset with Anna. So your membership money does help me support this beautiful programming. And Anna, thank you so much for your service. And thank you so much for putting this time and effort in to bring us together every week.
You're welcome. I'm so grateful to be here and to be a part of this wonderful conversation. it, it fills my heart and fills my cup every week, as I hope it fills yours, so that we can fill others. So awesome. Thank you, Sandy. And it's so awesome to just be back and be here with you guys. So for today's practice, I think last week I brought in the Book of Awakening and I read a little bit, and I was kind of debating whether I should read it or not, because sometimes it's not that long, but my intuition told me that yes, I should read it, so I'm going to read it. And I think that, take what resonates with you. Again, Mark Nepo is amazing, an amazing writer and poet, and this book is dated for every day of the year, and it has a different excerpt for each day. And this is for July 5th. All right, so he usually starts with a quote, and this is a quote by Angeles Ariane. For July 5th, it's called Beneath False Hope. We need to stay current and with each other. That's the quote from Angeles Ariane. It has taken a lifetime to understand how easily I can secretly wish for things to change, and in my secrecy, prevent true change from happening. For example, I loved a friend for many years who was unable to listen or be kind or patient, and rather than feeling just how much that hurt, I always hung in there. secretly believing that he would change and grow and one day emerge before my eyes as the friend I always believed he could be. Well, that didn't happen. I am not saying that change is not possible, but more deeply, that true change, the kind that is self initiated and lasting, has more chance of happening in a relationship that doesn't hide its shortcomings. As long as I could dream of my friend as I wanted him to be, it softened the true pain of how we were actually living. Without such truth, neither of us could grow, not he, for having to face the effect of his self centeredness, and not me, for having to risk saying what I needed. So let's begin by sitting up nice and tall, softening your gaze or closing your eyes, allowing your breath to settle as we integrate what I just read and allow that to come into this practice to see what arises for us. He writes to center yourself and meditate on the actual truth of a significant relationship. Breathe deeply and try to relax the hope of your loved one transformed. Breathe steadily and feel the full humanity of your loved one, thorns and all. Accept what arises and honor what you need. As you settle into your breath, begin to lengthen the inhales and the exhales. Feeling the chest rise on the inhale, expanding the belly. On the exhale, letting the belly fall, allowing the shoulders to soften. You can keep your hands where they are, or you can join me in bringing them into Anjala Mudra at the heart center. Inviting you to set an intention for your practice this afternoon. Remembering that it is intention that drives our actions, and it is these intentions we carry through our practice and take with us into our daily lives. Inviting you to take a deep breath in with me. Slow exhale out. Swallowing at the back of our throats. And when you're ready, fluttering your eyes open and releasing the hands. All right, so one of the things I did want to say as well is that this Friday we do have our integrated recovery practice, and Matt will be guiding us on his Rise Up Breath Work with Matt on Friday, so I'm really excited about that. So that's at 7, and usually programming begins around 7:30. All right, so sit up nice and tall and gently bring that left ear to the left shoulder, and thank you, Matt, for your services. You're amazing. That's the right. I'm not mirror teaching. Inhale, come back to center. Take the left ear to the left shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Let's take the chin down to the chest. And then inhale, bring the gaze back to center. Little circles with the nose. Giving a little movement to the cervical spine, and then opposite direction. Now, if you begin to get uncomfortable in your seat, you can switch your legs or shift around until you're comfortable. We won't be here too long. We're going to get on our backs soon. All right, so on the inhale, let's lengthen through the crown and begin to rotate the torso, our body around the pelvic floor. So just bringing in a little gentle movement before we go onto our backs. And then let's come back to center and rotate the opposite direction. Inhaling and exhaling, beginning to shift our energy. Come back to center, inhale, lengthen towards the sky. So in our lengthening, we are creating space between the vertebrae. Let's inhale the arms up to the sky. Press the palms together and exhale, bring them down to heart. Inhale, stretch up, palms together. Exhale, press everything away, fingertips down to the floor, ground here. And then inhale, arms come back up. Exhale, flip the palms, flip them down again. Ground that left hand, inhale, right arm up and over that right ear. Option here to take the gaze straight ahead or take it over towards the bicep, towards the sky. Take a nice deep breath here as you lengthen and then gently float that arm down, left arm over as you ground that right palm in. Inhaling, changing the gaze towards the bicep. Next breath, inhaling, lengthening, and then gently floating that arm down. Inhale, arms come up, parallel to the ears, and on the exhale, palms forward, begin to hinge forward, drop the hands in front of you, walk the hands away from you. Keeping the spine nice and long, through the crown, and then gently walk the hands back. And let's do a little cat-cow here before we get onto our backs. On the inhale, as your hand's on the lap, heart's going to shift forward, shoulders back, and you're going to take the gaze to the sky. On the exhale, chin's going to move to chest. You're going to round in and round that spine, tucking the tail. Inhale, lead with the heart. Take the gaze up to the sky, and exhale, chin to chest, rounding in. Continue back and forth, syncing the breath with your movement. Two more, evening out, so 4 movements. Last set on the inhale, extending, exhaling, rounding in, and then gently rolling back to seated. All right, let's gently bring our hands over our knees, coming into a tabletop position first. Let's bring the hips to stack over the knees and the shoulders over the wrists. And let's continue our cat-cow just to get a little bit more warm up in the spine. On the inhale, let's drop the belly, take the gaze up to the sky, tilting the tail, exhale, round in, getting into the spine a little differently, pressing the mat away. Inhale, drop the belly, take the gaze up, tilting the tail, exhale, chin to chest, round in, tucking the tail. Let's do about 5 more. Inhaling and exhaling. This is 2. 3. 4. And last 1. Come back to neutral. Shift the hips back towards the heels, walking the hands back. Shift the hips to one side, and let's swing the legs around. Scoot our bottoms down towards the middle of the mat, so then we can gently begin to lie down and come onto our backs. All right, so remember, use any props that you feel that will help your practice. You can, once you come into a lying down position, even at the end, you can take a pillow underneath the knees. For now, let's inhale the arms up and extend the legs, come into a full body stretch.
And then gently squeeze the knees in to the chest, reaching for the knees and gently squeezing them in by the shoulders back, slightly tuck the chin, a little rock side to side. So remember, you know your body best, and keeping yourself safe, do what feels good, not anything that you are pushing yourself to do that could hurt your back. So just be very, very gentle in this practice. Honor yourself and your needs, as Mark Nebo says. And then from here, let's release the legs. Take the arms over the head, and then we're going to do an opposite arm and leg stretch. So kind of like when we're in bed or we're reaching. So we're going to reach the right arm up, left leg is going to extend, and then gently we're going to extend that right leg and left arm. So we're kind of like reaching for something above us and extending the opposite leg as the opposite arm comes up. And you can bend the knees, however it feels good to get into that side stretch. Just walking, kind of like you're walking lying down, stretching one side, then the other. Then full body stretch. And then take the right knee to chest. Let's flex the foot, point the foot, and then let's rotate both directions. Stretch that leg up towards the sky, gently pulling that thigh towards you if that feels okay, and then gently squeezing it back into the chest and releasing. Left knee comes in, take a nice gentle squeeze. You can flex both feet. Nice deep breath in, and then relax the leg, point, flex, rotate the ankle. Point, flex, take a nice squeeze again, and then release. Full body stretch. All right, so now we're going to take the strap, kitchen towel, belt, tie, towel, anything that you have, and we're going to wrap that around the ball of the foot, just below the toes, right at the bottom of the ball. So I'm taking my right leg, my right foot, wrapping the strap around, and then from here you can hold it with both hands, one hand on each strap. Take a nice deep breath, pull the navel in, and gently guide that leg up to the sky, flex the foot, and hold here. You can extend and switch. You could extend that left arm out as you take the strap into the right hand to gently just, if you want to switch to one hand, or you can keep pulling with both, up to you. So here we are just breathing into the stretch. And sometimes we can forget how tight we can pull. So just be gentle in guiding the back of the leg to open up in this stretch. Just slowly opening up the back of the leg. So while you're here, you can take a gentle movement of the ankle. I'm gently moving my foot inward, then pressing outward. So a little personal share that I can share with you. When I was little, I used to be pigeon-footed, so my feet would turn in. And when I finally started seeing okay, let's switch sides here. We're going to do the left side. When I started seeing was a podiatrist who is a doctor of the feet. There are several things that my mom had to do to help me straighten out my feet and get the arches in better, or strengthen the foot. All right, so let's wrap the strap around that left leg, that left foot. Take that foot up to the sky, so leg is nice and high, and just gently allow the back of the leg to open. So as I was telling you guys to move the ankle inward and outward in that movement, I was reminded that growing up, my mom would have to help me do these exercises, exactly what we're doing now, but she would be on the opposite side of my leg or my foot and support me. So basically, I would have to push into her thumb or her hand. And essentially, we're using the resistance of this strap to push as we bring the foot inward and take the ankle into an inward position, and then gently pressing out as we're taking the foot outward with the ankle. So that in and out of the foot is actually strengthening. So that's what reminded me, because that's how I got my arch to strengthen and eventually my feet to straighten. So a little personal share. All right, so from here, one deep breath in, and on the exhale, let's lower and switch sides again. So that's in one of those things that you don't know about me. I don't know what's pigeon foot. All right, so strap wraps around the right ball of the foot. Take the foot up, the leg up to the sky. Foot faces the sky, so of the foot. And then take a nice extension of that leg, heel reaching up towards the sky. Then now let's extend, switch the strap to the right hand, extend that left hand arm to a T. Take a nice deep breath in, and we're going to begin to allow that leg to descend to the right side. So only go as far as it's comfortable. And watch if you are tilting the chin up, tuck the chin in. And let's bring that left hand to that left hip, because sometimes that left hip wants to lift. So this will remind you to keep that left hip nice and grounded. Gently pressing through the heel. And be mindful not to pull too hard. Just be gentle in the holding of the support. And notice, and remember not to hold your breath. So use your breath here. And notice how your leg will be able to gently open slowly. And we're taking our time, using our breath. A few more breaths. Last breath here. And on the exhale, gently bring it back to center, but don't remove the strap yet. Let's switch hands. So that strap from the right is going to go to the left hand. Place that right hand on the right hip. On the in-breath, we're going to begin to bring the leg across our body slowly. And the reason we're bringing our hand to the right hip is to remind us not to lift that hip. So when we do this, sometimes that right hip wants to lift because you want to take that leg all the way over. But just for this practice, let's keep the hand on the hip to ground that hip and then gently guide that leg across the body. So it will definitely shorten the movement, and you will feel it really in the deep thigh. So that side back body and the back body of the leg is opening here, coming all the way up towards the glutes, those deep inner glute muscles. So here we are stretching the T-band, getting into the psoas, and allowing the muscles to release any tension through the breath. Last breath here. And on the exhale, guide that leg back to center and release the strap. All right. So just notice as you extend your leg back how it feels. And then let's switch sides. So it might feel a little bit longer. And then we're going to even out. All right, so strap is on the ball of my left foot. Strap is in my left hand, and that right hand is going to come to the right hip. Take a nice deep breath in and allow that leg to open up and fall to the left side. You can flex the foot here, or flex both feet, whatever feels good to you. Just breathing nice and deep, allowing the body to relax with the breath. Last breath. And on the exhale, bring it back to center. Switch hands. The left hand's going to come to that left hip, and we'll slowly begin to bring that left leg across the body. Nice deep breaths, allowing the sensations to dissipate with your breath. Still allowing any energy that is in the leg that doesn't need to be there to release through the exhale. So that tension releases. Last breath here. Bring the leg back to center and release. All right, now notice how your legs feel. Inhale, arms over the head for a nice full body stretch. Now let's get a nice side body stretch. We're going to do that banana stretch where we're going to walk our feet to the left side, and then the arms are going to reach over to the left side. And let's walk back to center and walk everything over to the right side. You can even bring that left leg over the right. And then walk back to center. Full body stretch, arms over the head. Beautiful. Let's bring our arms by our side. Bend the knees. And we're going to do some gentle pelvic tilts. Just on the in-breath, the movement's going to be very subtle. On the in-breath, we're gently going to tilt the hips forward and create that flat. So we're going to remove that arch from our lower back, and the lower back's going to go very straight straight on the mat. And then on the exhale, we're going to tilt the tail back and create that arch in our back. So it's just going to be nice and gentle movement, subtle movement as we shift the hips forward and then tilt them back. So inhaling and exhaling as we do these movements. Inhaling, tilting forward. Exhaling, tilting back. A couple more breaths with movement. Last breath. Bring the knees to the chest, give a nice squeeze. Tuck the chin. And then let's take the hands to the knees and draw circles with the knees, creating some hip movement. And go the opposite direction. Just gently squeeze back in and bring the legs down. From here, let's rotate over to our left side. And we're going to support our head with our arm and come into like a fetal position. So the knees will come together, feet are together on the side. And taking a deep breath here, we're going to lift the knee up. That right knee is going to come up. The feet are going to stay together. And on the exhale, we're going to gently bring that knee down. Inhale, let that knee rise. Tuck the navel in. Exhale, bring that knee back down. We're going to continue back and forth. Gently breathing. You can match the breath to the movement. Two more. And last one. All right, so let's extend that right arm and gently bring that ankle towards us, taking that ankle in to give ourselves a little nice quad stretch, and then release. All right, so now we're going to come onto the other side. You're going to come onto your back and switch sides. Okay, so I can switch over. Resting your arms, so then now it's your left leg, feet together, knees together, in a little fetal pose here. And you're going to support this with the hand, and on the inhale, feet together, knees going to rise. Exhale, it's going to come back down. 2, 3. Inhaling, lifting that knee, keeping the feet together. 4 more. 2 and 1 and release. All right, so from here, you guys stay on your side. I'm gently going to come back into position. Come back to your backs. Gently squeeze the knees in. Give a nice hug. And then allow the legs to rise, soles of the feet to meet the sky. Palms are nice and flat by your side. Let's inhale the arms over the head. Reach. And then gently bring the knees into chest and reach for the outsides of the feet, or peace finger your toes for a little happy baby. And then let's release. Place the hands in front of the knees, and we're going to gently begin to rock up and down. And then come all the way back up. All right, so now we're seated. Let's gently come back into a tabletop position. On the inhale, we're going to come into a downward facing dog. So the toes are going to curl in. Let's gently come into a downward facing dog, lifting the hips high. Walk your dog. So I just wanted to get a little different back stretch and get into the backside body a little bit differently by coming into a down dog. And we'll soon be back on our mats again. All right, from here, inhale. Press the heart towards the thighs. Spread those fingers wide. Gently feel that thumb press, that index finger press in. Inhale the heels high. Take the gaze between the hands and bend the knees deep. Inhale, take the gaze between the ankles. Extend the legs back to downward facing dog. Inhale, heels lift high. Gaze changes between the hands. Inhale, come back to your downward facing dog. Now let's take the feet to the width of the mat. Gently walk your hands towards you. A little gentle, wide-legged stretch, not too wide, just the width of the mat. And then let's take that right hand to the left ankle and gently pull that ankle towards you. Your body's moving towards that left thigh, peeking underneath the left arm. Inhale, come back to center. That left hand reaches for the right ankle, peeking underneath the arm. The right arm. Feels really good on that left shoulder. Inhale, come back to center. Heel toe the feet back in. Inhale, hands on the shins, coming to a half lift, soft bend in the knees, and then bring the hands back down to the mat. You're going to walk the hands in front of you, come into a tabletop position. Nice deep breaths. Exhale it to the mouth. Let it go. We're going to thread the needle here with a little flow. Stacking those shoulders over the wrists on the inhale. Let's reach up with the right arm, hand towards the sky, and on the exhale, we're going to weave it underneath the left and reach, and then inhale it all the way up again. So we're flowing through. That's number 2. Reach through. Inhale. Reach high with that right arm. Exhale, weave it underneath and reach through. And inhale. Up we go again. Weave it through 2 more. Reach high. Exhale, weave it through. Last one. Inhale. Left arm high. Exhale. Now take that right shoulder. Drop it down to the mat. Right temple. Let's extend that left arm long. And just rest into that shoulder. We're not going to do anything fancy today. We're just going to take a rest on the shoulder. So we open up the back of the right shoulder, feeling it into the mid-back. Just awareness to what's coming up for you, noticing what you feel in the body. Notice what you feel if you gently press the hips back a little bit or shift forward. So you can take a little gentle movement here just to notice and where you feel comfortable in finding your sweet spot. That left arm can also relax as opposed to staying extended. Or some of my students like to reach back and take a bind or bring the hands behind their back. Whatever you do, just find yourself in your comfortable spot. This is your relaxing, juicy practice today. Well, it always is your practice. So however you are, whatever you're feeling, whatever's coming up for you, breathing through, being comfortable in your own body, honoring yourself. Honoring your needs. Inhale, arm rises, bring that right arm up, and then exhale, come back to your tabletop. And we're going to do the same thing on the left side. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, leave it underneath that right arm. Inhale, arm rises. Exhale, move it through. Inhale, let that arm rise. Exhale, move it through. 2 more. Last one. And drop that left shoulder. Left temple comes down. Extend that right arm. So you notice I didn't move my blanket. I have my blanket here next to me because it actually feels good to rest my wrist on the blanket. That's something that you can do too. Or you can just gently relax the arm. I'm going to take my right hand and gently place it relaxed in front of me just to focus on the energy in the left shoulder. Finding your sweet spot. It's different for everyone. You can even curl your toes under and see what that feels like for you. Last breath here. I'm going to uncurl my toes, guide myself back. Right arm comes back to support my lift. Inhale, left arm rises. Exhale, float it back down. Let's take a wide-legged child's pose. Take the knees to the width of the mat. Allow the toes to touch. Hips are going to shift back towards the heels. Extend the arms forward. Gently lower down. Support your head with a block, your forehead with a block, or gently lay your forehead on your mat. So if you have a block and your hips are tight, you can use a block here. Or a pillow, whatever you have close by that can support your forehead. And while there, you can give yourself a little third eye massage, taking the forehead back and forth. And then maybe shifting the hips back and forth and just noticing how they feel, what feels good to you. Maybe pressing the hands into the mat to press those hips back towards the heels. Nice deep breath in. Let's begin to walk the hands over to the right side. Maybe that left hand comes over to the right hand, on top of the right hand, and then shift that left hip towards the heel. Left hip towards left heel. Don't be afraid to expand the belly and the breath. Lots of space for the body between the knees. Because if you think about it, taking that nice deep inhale also is stretching that left side body. So that rib cage is expanding nicely, contributing to that side stretch. Inhale, walk the hands to center, and then let's walk the hands all the way over to the left side. Rest that right hand on the left hand. And then take that gentle awareness to that right hip and press that right hip towards the right heel. inhale, let's walk the hands back to center. Take a little bow here, and then before lifting all the way up to our table, gently come back to your tabletop. And let's give the hips some movement by taking them in a circular motion to one side and then opposite direction. So let's take a moment here to get into our bodies with a little intuitive movement. So you're welcome to close your eyes and get in touch with your body, listening to your body to notice how your body wants to feel or wants to move. So you can bring the hips back, you can extend the arms forward, you can take a down dog, you can take the hips into a figure 8 motion. You can bring one shoulder forward and then the other. You can round in. You can extend into an up dog. Whatever it is you're feeling, just going with that in the body. You can take the gaze up to the sky. You can bend the knees. It's you and your body at this moment. Alright, and then we meet back at table. Gently shift the hips back. And let's shift the hips forward. Walk the hands forward, bring the chest down, going into a little baby cobra. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders and relax the feet, but touch all 10 toes into the mat. Press them into the mat, chin forward, shoulders back. Inhale, lift the chest. Chin parallel to the floor, but take the gaze to the sky. Deep breath, and on the exhale, begin to lower down. Inhale, press all 10 toes into the mat. Bring the shoulders back, lift the chest. And then exhale, lower back down, curl the toes under, gently pressing yourself back up. Shift the hips back, walk the hands towards your knees, and inhale, hips are going to lift off the heels, arms are going to rise. Exhale, let's take a bow, sweep those arms back, and then inhale, allow the arms to sweep up and back. Exhale, lower down, one more bow, and then gently reaching back up. Flip the palms, float our body back down to the mat. Shift the hips to one side, swing the legs around, and we're going to come back to our backs. Awesome. Okay. So just make sure that you scoot your bottom forward so you know that your head's going to land on the mat, and gently lower yourself down. Bring the knees into the chest. Give a nice squeeze. Allow the body to rock side to side. And then getting into a little gentle bridge pose, bending the knees. And walk the heels towards your bottom. Allow the fingertips to graze your heels. Tuck the shoulders underneath the body. And on the in-breath, another flow, lifting the hips up towards the sky. And then the arms are going to come over the head. The chest is gonna travel towards the chin, and then on the exhale, everything is gonna lower down. Inhale, hips reach high towards the sky. Chest reaches towards the chin, arms reach above the head. Exhale, lower everything down. We're going to do 3 more. Inhale, lift up, reach up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift the hips, arms over the head. Exhale, float the arms back down. Last one. Inhale, reach up. Hips press up. And then exhale, lower everything down. Take the knees to the chest. Circle the knees. And then opposite direction. Let's squeeze the right knee in and extend that left leg out. Flex both feet. Take that left hand, guide that knee, that right knee across the body. And let's extend that right arm to a half T. Take a gentle twist. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, release. Let's do a full body stretch. Reach for that left knee. Take a nice squeeze in. Flex both feet. Guide that left knee to the right side across the body. Extend that left arm out to a half T, gazing over the left fingertips. Breathing nice and deep. Last breath. Come back to center. Full body stretch, arms over the head, extend the legs. And then let's gently bring the feet into a butterfly position. Bring the arms by your side, let them rest on the thighs, or you can just bring them down, palms up or palms down. Just allowing the hips to open for a moment here. Nice deep breaths. You can even flutter the legs like butterfly wings. And then bring the knees up, extend the arms to a T, and gently windshield wiper the legs back and forth. You can even take one knee in and then one knee out. Or both at the same time. Now let's let the knees fall over to the right side. Bring that right ankle to the outside of that left thigh and take the gaze over to the left side. Enjoy the breath here. Wherever you are, just taking in the sounds. Inhale, come back to center, release the legs, windshield wiper, back and forth. Allow the knees to come down to the left side. Take that left ankle to the outside of the right thigh, gazing over the right fingertips. Noticing how the hips are nice and relaxed. The whole body is all ready for Shavasana, going into a deep relaxation. You can feel it coming on. Let's release here. Release the legs. And then gently windshield wiper again. Any last movements you would like to do. before we take our final Shavasana, you're very welcome to do. You can take a shoulder stand if you like, or you can take the legs up to the sky. You can even support that with a block underneath the hips and take your Shavasana that way. So you can also use a pillow for support. Probably wouldn't recommend a book because of that. It can be a little hard. So something soft and firm if you have a bolster or a firm pillow. If you're here and you want to take it further, you can take it into a shoulder stand. And then that shoulder stand can become a plow, or you can stay right here. You can even butterfly the legs if you want, just to open up the hips, or just be in stillness. Again, if you want to take any kind of movement again, just to resettle your body. As we shift our body back down to the mat, or however you want to take your Shavasana, arms by your side, allow the palms to face the sky, maybe tucking those shoulders underneath the body. Allow your toes to fall open. Enjoying the breath as it comes in through the nose, the warmth as it leaves the nose. Feeling supported by the earth. Feeling safe, supported. Feeling open and balanced. Feeling rejuvenated, expanded, vibration high. Shavasana. You're always welcome to stay in your Shavasana as I gently guide myself back up to seated for I cue you out. And even while I cue, if you decide that that's where you want to stay, you're very welcome to stay in your Shavasana. But when you're ready, beginning to bring subtle movement back into the body by wiggling the toes and the fingers, gently shifting to one side and the other, just to bring that gentle wiggle back into the body. And then when you're ready, rolling over to your left side and gently pressing yourself back up to seated and joining me with your hands in Anjala Mudra at the heart center. Join me in bringing your prayer hands up to your third eye as a reminder to think kind thoughts, especially to yourselves, about yourselves. In front of your lips as a reminder to speak kind words, especially to yourselves, about yourselves. And back down in front of our hearts as a reminder to live life full of love, joy, inner strength, lots of fierce grace from my heart to yours. Thank you so much for letting me guide this midweek practice for you. I'm so honored